What is going on, baseball fans, Mets fans in particular? Our first walk-off win of the season. I don't feel happy about it. I wish I felt better. It doesn't feel as good as I thought it would be. Michael Conforto was at the plate, shot at redemption there. Could have been strike three, was called strike three. He takes it on the elbow. Did he lean in? Did he not lean in?
Oh, no. There's no did he.
Yeah, it's a whole thing right now, but a win's a win. Is it not? A win is a win, boys. And this is a good win. A comeback win. Jeff McNeil homers on his birthday. Let's start there. A lot to take away from this game. What are your early thoughts?
Listen, like you said, a win's a win. And at the end of the year, if we win this division by one game, I'll look back at this game and I'll say, thank you, Michael Conforto. As a Mets fan, we've had more than our share of bad luck. Yeah, we got lucky today with this win. Michael Conforto definitely leaned over the plate. But you know what? The umpires could have overruled it. They looked at it. They didn't. It is what it is. The Mets got the win. But I actually think, and obviously the game before was really bad. We didn't really get an opportunity to talk about that. The only pros that I really took out of that game was Peterson. As ironic as that may sound, Peterson got lit up the first inning. He gave up like 4 runs. I actually thought he responded very well. I thought that was a good sign for Peterson. Clearly didn't have his stuff in the first inning, couldn't get the ball down. Then he started to look much better there the next 3 innings. And then that fifth inning, kind of bad luck with the bunt. But today, I'm going to tell you what, man. Taijuan Walker, a guy that we, and again, it's against the Marlins. But the guy was throwing a no-hitter into the 5th inning. The guy definitely looked good today. That was a big plus. And let's give credit to the bullpen. The bullpen kept us in the game, my man. 3 scoreless innings. Edwin Diaz looked really good on the mound today. And then the clutch inning. I mean, Jeff McNeil with the big home run. Brandon Nimmo, 3 hits, a clutch double. The guy's batting .429. I think his on base percentage is over 1,000. Every time I watch, the guy's getting on base.
You're
he's
right.
off to a great start.
You're right. I also want to address, since we're talking about the Mets, people are losing their minds. MH in particular. We got 3 goats. Major's debut. This isn't his debut, but he is here. Everyone, the people are getting what they want today. The Mage is here. He's coming out with a fire background. That's right, Clutch B-Ball TV. Had to be his background. It's only right. Mage, the people are happy you're here. Welcome. I don't want you to just be quiet on us. What's going on?
No, I mean, I'm glad to be here. I heard the whole groundhog analogy, and you guys went through whether or not I saw my shadow. So I really do appreciate that. I do tune into the streams. However, I am just a normal person, so I am a working man. So unfortunately, some of these streams go at 11 o'clock at night, and my old behind is in bed, or I got some other stuff going on. But I had to come back because, MH and John, I didn't want them to go too long without some Mage, some great supporters. As we talked about yesterday, I think I'm starting a fan club, and those 2 are the president. But in terms of the Mets, man, forget getting hit by the pitch, right? Forget the walk-off run. Can we talk about that bat flip by Jeff McNeil? That was great, man. First of all, he hit a moonshot into the upper deck, and then just tossed a bat like it's absolutely nothing. I love it, man. That's what I want to see, especially to tie the ball game up. So.
And Mage on his birthday. And it's funny that Dom was held out of the lineup the next day. He hits an important home run. Jeff McNeil's held out of the lineup the next day. He hits an important home run. Moral of the story is keep him in the lineup.
I heard you drafted Luis Rojas. He might be onto something, Tino.
Yeah, we have to lose one to win one, right? We have to leave our guys out in order for them to get better. Look, all I'm saying, too, shout out Alberto. Yeah, let's go Mets, man. Look, this lineup needs a lot of work. VR has to stop coming up with the bases loaded and striking out. It just needs to stop. Just move Jeff McNeil up one more spot. I would also love to see, I know they're going to implement eventually. I mean, Nimmo should stay in leadoff, but if Pilar somehow gets a start somewhere, I'd love to see McNeil maybe even get some reps at leadoff. If we're going to switch things up, I think it has to be for the better of McNeil. Get him off his snide, man. He's an important hitter on this team. So, we did not cheat. And for the record, Aguilar cheated first. He robbed Dom Smith out of his back pocket. That's another
What a
moral of the
play,
story.
man. What a play. Dom Smith, man, he got I think it was a double his second time up, but the first, he scolded that other ball. But dude, a win's a win. And at the end of the day, that's all I care about. And now the Mets have the opportunity to really get off to a nice 4-2 start, because now you got DeGrom and you got Stroman coming up against the Marlins with a day off to prepare. I feel like we got to take advantage of this after this win. I think we got a real opportunity here to get to a nice 4-2 start. And like I said, the most encouraging thing for me in this game was the pitching. Walker and the bullpen. And Edwin Diaz looked good. Diaz looked good. His stuff looked really good today.
He has a ton of movement on his stuff. I want to touch on Walker real quick, and we can get back to McNeil because I love McNeil's flow. I love how hyped he got me. We are almost at 500 sub, guys. That's incredible. Continue to support us. Continue to subscribe. Thumbs up. Turn the notifications on. We're going to do this stuff as much as we can. But Taijuan Walker, man, hell of a debut. I didn't want to talk about the no-hitter during the game. I kind of spoke about it, and I feel like it's my fault that the no-no didn't exist. I started thinking about it too much. 5 innings in. It was the longest Mets no-hitter in a debut or a home opener, whatever the exact wording of it was, since Syndergaard, like back in 2015 or whatever it was. But so it hasn't been done in a while. I mean, what he was doing out there was impressive. And, his strikeout numbers weren't there, but he was throwing the hardest he has probably, I think, since the first couple of years of his career. I mean, he was touching 97 today. His average last year was 93. Wow. So, yeah. And so I don't know the exact number on how long it's been since he's touched 96, 97 consistently, but that average from last year tells you everything you need to know. He looks really good, man. He looks really good. I know that's a signing that's a signing we were hyped about, but if we get something out of Walker, I mean, this rotation's looking really good when Cookie and Syndergaard get back. Really, really good.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I'm with you on that. He looked great.
Oh, Walker looked awesome. So did the entire bullpen. Yeah, and let's talk about the bullpen. Trevor May came out, got in a little bit of trouble, but got out of it. Love to see that. Castro's good, man. I like him. I like
they got confidence in Castro. That's 3 games now. He came in for the 7th inning.
Yeah, and how about, too, speaking of confidence, I noticed this today. Dom had some action in left field. He's tracking fly balls with confidence, too. Like, I like to see that out of guys that we're hesitant about. Even Diaz, like, nothing makes us more nervous than when they look flustered out there. So, to see Dom tracking left field, balls in left field, as casual as he is encouraging to see, too. The bullpen performing the way they did. I'm glad we finally saw Diaz. That was awesome. But I also want to say our best outing in the bullpen, it's a direct correlation with Dylan Betances going to the IL. Just saying, guys. I'm just saying you take him out of there and we immediately get better.
Well, coming back to the outfield real quick, maybe Brandon Nimmo should take some pointers from Dom Smith on tracking fly balls. I'm just saying. I mean, he crashed into that wall pretty goddamn hard. So, he lost his hat. He lost his glasses. I think he lost his wits about him. He looked like he got tripped up on that warning track out there too. But
so I'm curious, Mage, and we didn't get really your take on it. How do you view that? The picture behind you, your background. How do you view that play? Because they reviewed it. I thought that was the interesting thing. I was hesitant at first. They went to review it. I thought they had a case to overturn it. I mean, Mattingly was heated. I didn't get to see his presser. He should have been. I saw it in the chat. If it was us, we'd be losing our minds, no doubt. But yeah, Mage, where are you at on that? I mean, fair game.
So unfortunately, I was on the way home as this ended. I was actually listening to Michael K show, and I think they brought up a good point about what's reviewable and what's not. I know we're all Giants guys. We're all football. We get into that. That's a little more of a forte here. I don't know if it was a reviewable play. I know they went to the headset. I saw it later on. They went to a headset, but were they actually checking to see whether or not he was hit? Did he lean into it? I'm not exactly sure what they were looking at there, because even from a certain angle, it looks like that he didn't even get hit with the ball, right? If it did, it was like it caught the fibers on his shirt or something. Like I'm not even sure. But at the end of the day, it's a win for us. So I'm not going to really get too bent out of shape about it. Did he lean into it? Absolutely. I think, Entertainah was right about that. There's no question that he leaned into it.
Well, and the ruling of it's interesting, and that's a big thing I was listening to. It's that regardless, and Lindor had a situation when he got hit in the foot. It's that the rule states that the batter has to make an attempt to get out of the way. They have to make an attempt. I mean, that was an attempt to get into the way. It wasn't an attempt to get out of the way. So that was a pretty glaring.
That's why he's wearing the elbow pad. He wants to get it.
Yeah, and you want to know something that shows that Conforto's slumping, and it brings up a good point. Tade saying we still can't hit with runners in scoring position. It's a fucking joke.
No, we can't hit with guys on base though.
Yeah, and we get hit and work walks more than anybody in the league. We just have to. I think we got hit like 3 times today. Yeah,
I think we left 11 on base today. I think it's been a major problem. It was the same problem last year. So yeah, I mean it's still early, but
well, I
yeah,
think it goes back to before that too. Our runners in scoring position have been our problem for the last 4 years.
Yeah,
they're just not able to score runs.
Conforto does look scared. He looks uncomfortable. He's guessing up there, and he's not swinging. This is my issue. He's getting hitters counts. He's at 2-0. He's just staring at balls. He stared at the one that hit him in the elbow. He stared at the other 2 strikes in that at bat too. You're not going to hit the ball if you don't swing the bat. That's why you're slumping. And I don't know what it is with him. The thing that bothered me out of the gates, we lead off with Nimmo getting a double. Then we get Frankie, Conforto, Pete. We don't get him in. That should be a run in the first right there. Gives our pitcher confidence going into the second. Couldn't get it done. Next inning, I think we had bases loaded. Couldn't get it done. It's like it's deja vu, man. It's really a never-ending cycle. Then Marte's play on Dom Smith. Can we talk about that for a second? Oh. Dom should have had a bases clearing double. Should have been a dead center home run. Insane play.
Yeah.
Insane play. Almost a game-winning play by them. I mean, love to see Dom raking the ball, but it's like we can't buy a fucking bucket, guys. I mean,
but the good news is we're still 2-2. Even with some of the bad luck that we've had, we got DeGrom going back on the hill. If we start the year 4-2, you sign up for that. We got our 2 best pitchers going against the Marlins, and hopefully we get the bats going. But, I'm going to take some positives out of this, though. Like I said, man, our starting pitching so far this year has been awesome. I know it's only 4 games in, and I know Peterson wasn't good. But he didn't have his stuff either, and I think he battled pretty well. Our other 3 starters look great so far. And now we're going to shift right back to DeGrom. But that's a positive. And I think the bullpen, at least today, looked really good.
Tino, I'm glad you said that.
The biggest problem we have.
Mage woke up today and chose violence in our group chat. He chose violence. He knew exactly what would get under my skin. He was trying to tell me that this team would have been better. What was it, Mage? Who would we have been better with? Say it.
After yesterday's outing with Peterson, I said, his team would have been better with probably Bauer as a number 2.
This is what he said to me. I said, are you kidding me? Rotation is not the issue. Peterson battled back. He just wasn't having it. And you know what? I understand your frustrations. But it's not Peterson's fault.
I mean, honestly, Tino, what the one problem that we've had is that we haven't been able to produce runs. So you do need starting pitching. You can't give the Phillies a head start like we did yesterday with Peterson on the mound. You just can't. We're not going to make up those games.
But look, I mean,
I agree with that.
It's fair. It's fair. But I mean, you have to realize too, Peterson's filling in for now. I mean, best case scenario, he's going to be R5. Look, the way the rotation is worked out right now, and with Lucchesi doing well yesterday, I want to talk about that too. 2 scoreless innings. Lucchesi and Peterson can drop to the bullpen at some point when Carrasco and Syndergaard get back, and I know that's a big if, but it adds lefty depth to the bullpen. I don't like Aaron Loop as our only lefty in that bullpen at all, so that would help. But I don't think Bauer changes all that much. I really don't. I think it just adds to just the clusterfuck that is this team. Look, we have Stroman, who pitched amazing. Walker pitched amazing. DeGrom pitched amazing. Literally all of them won 5-6 fantastic starts. Peterson got roughed up. You're going to get that 1 out of every 5 days. And if it's the guy who's most likely to do it in Peterson, then fuck it. We live with it. But we got to get runs either way.
And Tino, let me also say this. If we were a week later in the season, we're 3-1 because DeGrom ain't coming out of that game. Mm-hmm. He came out after only 77 pitches because it was the first start. So DeGrom probably goes at least 8 innings in that first game. We probably win that first game against the Phillies. I think we're fine. Like I said at the end of that first game, let's not panic. I still think we're a good team. I still think we're going to be ultra competitive. And yeah, there's definitely things to work on. I am absolutely concerned with us hitting with men on base. That's something that we got to worry about going forward because good teams don't leave men on base. We got to get much better in that area. But from a positive standpoint, we're still finding ways to manufacture some runs without Conforto doing anything, without McNeil doing anything before today with the home run. Nimmo, who I'd vote for president, is doing phenomenal at the top of the order. The guy is setting the table left and right. Dom Smith, it looks like he hasn't missed a beat. Pete's going the opposite way. He looks like he's ready to go this year. And I don't even think this offense is close to clicking yet. And when they do, and they will, we haven't seen it yet from Lindor, I think the Mets are going to be fine. I think we're going to be just fine.
They said they better give DeGrom run support on Saturday. That probably won't happen, and it's going to be on DeGrom to give himself his own run support. Still the most dominant outing I think I've ever seen from a pitcher, and Syndergaard had one similar to this, but that 14 strikeout game where DeGrom was in Miami and he hit a home run. He had 14 Ks, hit a home run, and the Mets won. That was insane, and that was like a quintessential DeGrom do-it-yourself game. But speaking of Conforto's contract, man, I guess it's a good thing we didn't give him anything.
You think he's thinking about that a little bit? You think a little pressure?
I mean, that's why Lindor said he doesn't want to worry about his contract in the middle of the year. I mean, he said that he didn't want it to be a distraction. But Lindor is a different player than Conforto, so maybe it's it's hitting Conforto a little different. It's got to weigh on him.
Conforto's been this type of player. I don't know why this comes as a surprise to anybody, really, is that he does tend to be very streaky. So you're going to go through this with Conforto. I know as Mets fans, right, we obviously want to win every game, but we're 4 games into the 162-game season. I'm not going to lose my mind over it. I'm not going to read too much. But it is what it is. That first loss did upset me, so I'm glad I wasn't on the stream because – I mean, DeGrom, this bullpen, but I want to ask you guys then, right? Obviously, runners in scoring position are an issue. And then the bullpen, with the exception of today, what do you think right now is the bigger glaring need on this team? Do we need a bullpen arm or is it in the lineup?
I still think it's the bullpen.
Yeah, it's the bullpen for sure. We just need Seth Lugo back. Once we get Seth Lugo back, I'll say third base. Seriously. I mean, that's what I think. Because I'm getting a lot out of Castro, more than I thought. I think May's going to be fine. I don't have the most confidence in him right now. I think he's going to be fine. We'll see what we can get out of some other guys that are going to get chances with Betances gone. I'm hoping that shines. But really, it's bullpen until – dude, we got to find out what's good with JD. I mean, third base is an issue right now because – Guillorme doesn't really get it done at the plate, and he's been struggling defensively. VR, he had some garbage time hits in Philly, but hasn't really got it done offensively, and that's what he's supposed to do.
I will say Guillorme's been hitting, though, the last couple of games. He has been hitting.
He did have a nice single. He had a nice single.
And I think he had 2 or 3 hits yesterday, too.
Yeah, he led that rally. You're right. But that's the thing, though. That he hasn't started him. He hasn't started him at third. So, I mean, he did, but he started VR. That's the thing. So then the next thing we're going to see is Jeff with Guillorme. Then what? If Guillorme struggles, you're going to go back to VR. I feel like it's like this fucking monkey see, monkey do lineup right now. And it's like the overall changes is we need to move Dom to 3. Conforto just needs to slide down, and Jeff needs to move up. It's that simple. And this way we can kind of stretch the lineup out a little bit because putting VR at 6 and then McNeil at 7 is just killing us.
That's a disaster.
It's killing us.
I wanted to bring that up because Super Pete brought it up in the comments, but he said, well, how do you guys feel about putting McNeil at 2 and Lindor at 3? Obviously, they had Conforto in the 3-hole today. He's not producing. You got to move him.
But Rojas is going to have a heart attack if you do that because that means 2 lefties are starting. I mean, legitimately, today, I kid you not, the only way I could justify Jeff McNeil not being ahead of VR is for lefty-righty, lefty-righty. That's the only way I could justify it because VR is a switch and you didn't want a lefty after Dom Smith. But it's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. It's stupid. For the same reason you don't start Dom Smith on opening day because it's a left-handed starter. But then you don't bat him the entire game.
No. It's a joke. And I don't even know if he sets the lineup. He probably doesn't. But I just feel like it's overthinking it.
Yeah.
You look at VR. You look at McNeil. They're not even close. McNeil should be hitting above him. Dom should not have been benched opening day. They're overthinking it. They're getting too analytical. They're getting too righty-lefty, too righty-lefty. McNeil should be at the top of the order. That's where it belongs in this lineup.
Entertainah, you saw it back-to-back games now. When people had the chance to walk Lindor, they did to pitch to Conforto. When guys have had chances to either walk Pete or Dom, they do to pitch to the 6-hitter. We got to get that gap out of our lineup because that's what's killing us with runners in score position. We've had bases loaded, I think, every game multiple times and probably have like 2 total runs to show for it. They can't happen. It just can't happen.
One came on a walk and the other came on a hit batsman.
Keep playing Dom Smith. Damn right. I don't think VR is a useless pile of garbage. And look, I understand that he's going to have to play with JD out. My point is you got to utilize guys the right way. Like, you can't be having VR in the heart of your lineup coming up in clutch situations when you sign him to a deal that's not for that. You have Jeff McNeil to do that. And look, and I was even considering, I love Jeff at 2. I already mentioned maybe bat and leadoff, but I don't want to touch Nimmo. I don't even mind McNeil ahead of Conforto. I don't, because you see that McNeil has power. McNeil has more power than people think. I think he could be fine in the 5-hitter. Yeah, I think VR is fine for what he does, but you just got to use him better.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. He's a nice platoon player off the bench, but you don't want him starting every day. And right now he has to because J.D. Davis is hurt. And hopefully they did. The one thing I will say, I heard it on the telecast today. They said that or maybe it was yesterday. They said that they had to test him a second time because they were worried maybe the swelling made it look negative, but it was again negative. So it sounds like he'll be back pretty soon. I don't know when, but it sounds like he'll be back pretty soon. And we need him. You know, as much as we said he's a liability in the field, he's still one of our better bats. So it'll be nice to have him back.
Syndergaard, where is Syndergaard? I think he's probably he had a funny video today. He was trying to watch the game on MLB at bat, and he was blacked out. So if he's blacked out, he's probably either in Florida or New York. I'd imagine he's in Florida still because he's probably catching a tan and doing some workout shirtless. He doesn't seem like the kind of guy who wants to be in New York any longer than he needs to be. Cohen should set the lineup. Cohen was at the game today, shaking hands and being kind of a figure at the stadium. And I kind of liked it. You wouldn't see the Wilpon show in their face around Citi Field. That's for sure. That's a big difference. So that was nice to see today too. I was glad we got a win for Uncle Stevie in his first game at home.
Absolutely.
Let's see what else we got. Yeah, I mean, look, with the Mets, you just never know. And in general, you saw that today. I mean, bottom 9, we have 1 run, shitty luck all game, and we piece it together. We fight back. I love the turn of our lineup once we get to the top of the order. It's just such a struggle to get there on the back end. Like, I love the Nimmo, Lindor, not the Conforto, but I just love that top 5. I love our top 6. It's just 7 to 9 that's just too easy. I feel like we blow 3 innings a game because they sit down 7, 8, 9. So, yeah, I don't know. NL East is the toughest division in baseball. What do you guys think? Probably, right? I mean,
yeah,
sure.
I think so.
Well, especially everybody crowning the Braves. So
if you want to crown them, crown them. If you want to crown them,
I didn't even say. How did I know they played a double? Did they win both yesterday? The Braves.
Let
me take a quick look. I didn't even look.
I have no idea. Phillies are
2-4.
underrated. Their offense is legit.
2-4, the Braves.
The Braves' issue is going to be pitching. That's the one thing they don't have that every other team has. I mean, quite frankly, and their bullpen is still being held together by duct tape.
What do you think, Mage? Because I haven't heard your take on the Phillies. Do you think they're for real? You think they're going to run? Keep, or you think this is sustainable? Or do you think they come a little bit back to the pack?
No, I think they come back to the pack. Yeah, they do have a great lineup. Somebody mentioned already that their lineup is underrated. But again, to Tino's point, it's the pitching. So I think they're going to come back to earth too. Right now, their best reliever is Hector Neris. He's not that great either. I think he'll come back. So I think it's going to be an even playing field just at the same time too. I mean, the Braves right now are slumping. Are we really think that that's going to continue with everything that we prognosticated prior to the season? I don't think so.
No, Braves will be in the thick of it.
Yeah, so I can certainly see it being a 3-way race. I don't know about Miami. Miami's still up in there. I think they still got a lot going on. They haven't figured out exactly what they want to be. So
Phillies look the best so far, which is scary. It's not that scary. Honestly, I expect that because Philly the bottom falls out under them, similar to how things fall out under us too sometimes. But Philly doesn't scare me. But we talked about it last stream. I think the NL East is the best division because we probably have some of the big marquee names in the game. I mean, Acuna Jr., Juan Soto, Bryce Harper. You throw them in a division on different teams. It's going to be pretty tough to compete. We also have really good pitching, even though Scherzer is washed. That's the thing. I feel like the Nationals aren't going to survive because they still are top heavy with their rotation and it's the same guys, but they're just not very good. Like Scherzer isn't as good as he was. Soto, best player under 25 in all of baseball.
He's damn good.
I mean, that's an argument.
He's up there though. He's damn good.
It's an argument. Top 2, 3.
I'm looking at the Mets schedule right now. I think I'm going to go to one of those games. I think I'm going to go to one of those Philly Met games.
7-game homestand.
Yeah, I think I'm going to one of those Philly. I'll probably vlog it a little bit, but I got that the Mets juice is flowing right now. You got 3 night games: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Actually 4 games. It's a 4-game series. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I think I'm going to make an appearance at one of those Met Philly games.
I like that. I like that a lot. I'm looking at it too. So we got a 7-game homestand. Then we're going to hit the road here, go to Colorado for 3, Chicago for 3. Then we're back at home for 5. I'm trying to see how our off days look because, dude, I keep talking about it. The pitching is going to get worked. We don't have an off day. I mean, we play every day next week. Our next off day is next Monday. We're off tomorrow, and then our next off day is next Monday. This is going to be a brutal schedule. Let's see what else we got here. They still have Strasburg and Corbin. Yeah, Strasburg pitched really well the other day. Taking Soto over Acuna is tough to me because Acuna brings a lot to the table defensively. He brings a lot to the table defensively that people don't talk about. Game 1, he threw out Harper at second on a sharp double. It was like
Acuna's a stud. Acuna's a stud. One of the it's crazy the young talent that all these teams have though outside of the Marlins really, but it's crazy, you know, when you really look at the talent that these teams possess that are all young in the National League East. We're all going to be good for a while. All 3 or 4 of these teams are all going to be good.
You want to know who's actually a stud though? It's Pete. Pete's a stud. He didn't even get a hit today, and but
you could just tell that Pete's locked in right now.
Oh yeah. You
could tell that he's coming out prepared. He's hitting the ball with authority. He's hitting it the other way. I like where Pete is right now. I know the number. He's still hitting 308, but you could tell that he came out prepared this year.
He had no hits today. I had full confidence in if Conforto struck out, which he probably should have, Pete was going to get the job done for the walk-off. Like, it was at that level. I prefer Pete at the plate than Michael in that situation. Mage, here, this is for you. Is it irrational to bench Conforto this early?
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, again, right? I mean, we're 4 games into the season. Conforto's a streaky hitter. You knew exactly what you were getting prior to the season. You got to let him play through.
Yeah, and you don't want to mess with his confidence either. I mean, it's kind of like a shooter in basketball. Shooters got to keep shooting. It's the same thing with Conforto. Like, maybe you move him down a little bit in the lineup to get his confidence up. Maybe you feel like at number 3, maybe there's too much pressure. Maybe move him to 5 or 6, but you got to leave him in there.
Yeah. The big thing is here, too, they're talking about Max Fried, Ian Anderson. You're still talking about the Braves. Their ace tore his Achilles against the Mets in Soroka. Soroka is the real reason they're treading water there in the pitching staff. He's their ace. He's their best pitcher by far. I like Fried a lot, but a lot is contingent on how Soroka is going to perform. Trying to read all these questions, guys. Fire away. Seager is not winning MVP. I'm telling you that right now. There is no chance Corey Seager is winning MVP. You want Nimmo, McNeil, Lindor. I'm looking back at a few of these. I love to hear ideas for the lineup. I really do because, like, as much as I don't think offense or position players are an issue, I do think, obviously, and it's a glaring issue, offense is a problem still. Offense is still a problem. Yo, what's going on? Nothing. The Mets won on a walk-off, man. The Mets won on a walk-off, Mr. Mini Guy. What's going on with you?
He's a big Braves fan.
Oh.
Yeah. We don't play them for a bit, though, so.
Simon, I don't just do the Mets. I do a lot of Giant stuff. In terms of baseball, we're just doing Mets. We'll try to do some other stuff on this channel with other things. But, yeah, like your picture with Joe Judge, we do Giant stuff, too. Me and Mage have a podcast together. We're supposed to record this week at some point. I'll let you know when the episode drops. But, yeah, we're a part of Clapback Sports. You can check us out on Twitter, clapback_sports. Yeah, similar to the Entertainah. That's actually how we all got together. We were doing Giant stuff, and then we were excited for the Mets season. So that's how this whole thing
yeah, we were gonna do a Mets podcast. Then we just decided to put it on YouTube instead. And we're kind of, this channel's in its infancy. We're just kind of growing it, and just like we're learning as we go. What type of content we want to put out. But I was excited after the game today. I'm like, we got to go live. We got to talk about it as the Mets stole a win.
Yeah, so let's see here. We got Nimmo, Lindor, Dom, Pete, Conforto, McNeil, Davis, McCann. When Davis is back, yeah, whoever. And the thing is, I don't mind if we move McCann to 7 and then like put Guillorme to 8 if he's the one who's playing.
I don't even mind Davis at 8. I don't.
Oh, yeah.
I don't. I mean, he's the type of hitter that I think is a good 8 hitter. He's the thumper. So I don't mind him but yeah, I mean, when we're healthy, I think that lineup is awesome.
Andy 3. If Pete gets to the home run derby, let's just stop there. He better compete in the home run derby. I don't care if he slumps. That's his title. He should defend that shit. He'd hit 1,000,000 home runs in Colorado. But I know everyone's going to be worried about it.
I'm going to be honest. I don't like it. I don't like you guys remember when Wright participated in the home run derby?
Yup.
He completely fell apart after that.
That was a wild one, too. It was him and Ryan Howard, right? I think it was him versus Ryan Howard.
Yeah, Wright hit a ton. But it's just maybe it's superstition. I don't know. But it just seems like hitters slump after that. I don't know. I don't like it.
Look at the season Aaron Judge was having before he competed and won in that home run derby.
Yeah.
So the entire rest of the remaining year.
But Pete won and he kept going. He still broke the record. Let's go with this one. Over under 10 wins for DeGrom. Well, not off to a good start. we definitely lost one of those wins. So what do you guys think?
I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna go over.
Yeah, I'll say over as well.
God, that scares me. How confident
the lineup is too good, and he's too good of a pitch. We gotta get him at least 13 or 14.
I mean, I agree. I just I hope it actually happens.
It's gonna almost happen by accident with how good he pitches.
It's crazy. I feel bad for our pitchers. Even Walker today, guy has 1 bad inning, gives up 2 runs, on the hook for the loss. He had a no-hitter through 5, and he's about to be on the hook for a loss. Because I don't know what happens to us with our timely hitting. It just. Yeah, no, it goes out the window. Like the baby Entertainah is spitting fire. Okay, all right, yeah. Oh, Mage, you know the baby, right?
Yeah, I saw this. Chris, at first I don't know what the heck you're doing. I thought you were joking because then you did the whole posing thing and everything else with the smile.
I think I look like.
What is this? Are you changing careers?
You don't think I look like the baby? I get told that all the time. It was at the grocery store actually yesterday. Somebody told me that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm still I'm speechless how that even comes up. But I don't know. But if you look like the baby, then I'm Vin Diesel. So
he's an undercover rapper. He's a rapper on the low key rapper.
You know what it is, Maze? It's not summertime yet. When I get my tan, I look a lot more like the baby. You'll see it.
All right, I'm gonna do a side-by-side picture with a poll.
I see a lot of people talk about Jared Kelenic. Guys, we don't talk about that right now. It's too sensitive of a subject. Edwin Diaz at least pitched good today. Let's just run with that. But I did think the first thing I thought when Batanzas going on the IL, I'm like, oh, they're faking the injury. It's Cano all over again. Why do you think Cano got his suspension? That was a plant job for sure. They were like, Cano, listen, we're taking this out of your hands. You're suspended, buddy. You're done. Strike 2, strike 3. Sit your ass down. I'm hoping they're doing that with Batanzas. I hope he sees a 60-day IL just to spare us a little bit. No love for McCann here. What do you guys think of McCann as a hitter? He seems asleep. I mean, I don't expect that much from him offensively. But whatever we can get is great. We don't like him in the 8 spot. He needs a little bit more protection. I don't know what you mean by protection. In the lineup, people around him.
Listen, for me. Like you said, anything we get from him is a bonus. He's there for his defense.
Look out for Kelenic. I know. I don't want to look out for Kelenic. I actually just hope – because the thing with the Mariners, the funny thing is they're crippling all their prospects. I have no idea what they're doing over there in Seattle. He should be brought up by now, and apparently they were doing it in spring training, and they're just messing with him. So hopefully we delay that for a little bit because I do think he's a stud.
I drafted him on my fantasy baseball team. It's a keeper league, so.
Oh, dude, Taylor saw you at Walmart, Chris. Saw you at Walmart and thought you were the baby. I've seen Chris in concert, inspirational stuff. I don't think anyone's gonna do the baby concert and said, something that was inspirational. I can do that. What else we got here? Okay, will Diaz get his first save by Wednesday? Yeah.
What was that? It's almost a week. So
yeah, no.
I hope so.
The other aspect of that is we got to be in position for a save, so we'll see.
Yeah, he got his first win today, though. How about that, right?
It was nice.
Yeah.
It was nice for him to get the W.
What else do we got
Please
here?
don't talk about killing.
Yeah. John, I know, man.
Not a good
Sensitive
trade.
subject. But Cano is saving us money. You're right. That money we thought would go to Trevor Bauer, but it did not. And we are here
$24 million
now.
we saved from that.
Brody Van Redden, the gift that keeps on giving.
So we got, you look like Pete Alonso and you look like Kanye West. Guys, you can't just say he looks like everybody. All right. He's his own person. You're just throwing names out there now.
I get the baby and Jackie Chan, I see.
Who does Mage look like, though? Because I know they told me I look like Tomas Nito. I could kind of see that. I don't know who Mage looks like yet. So you guys got to start rifling names off of.
Well, believe it. I don't know if I shared this story or not, but then I'm going to wait till almost the end and I'll share a story. I don't want to skew the polling. So
was that? Remember we ended the show a couple weeks ago and you said you were going to tell a story? You should tell that story.
So my buddy was watching the stream. We went to a Mets game versus Oakland. It wasn't the manager. He was going to get back to me, but we were sitting with the players' wives. I want to say at the time it was Jermaine Dye and maybe Johnny Damon. And we were just, they were very attractive looking women. And, we were just talking to them the whole night. And we were just, going back and forth with them. But that was it, though. That was about it. We have really good seats. So,
all right, we got some good ones already, though. May just so brighten you up. We got you look like LeBron James, no doubt. I see this one though. Taylor says you look like a young Charles Barkley. I kind of like that. I see
that as well. Absolutely.
Kevin crashes the board.
So Kevin James is one that I get a ton of. So I can definitely see that. So
he said you sound like his Uncle Larry. That's even better.
So the other, what is this? A whiter and shorter bearded version of Guillermo.
That means he doesn't look like him, guys. That if you have to change that many things about someone, he doesn't look like Guillermo.
He looks more white. He's not as tall.
This guy. Simon has obviously seen me defensively play a game of baseball, so I think that's where it's coming from. All right, so I'll share a story now that a few names have come in. So no BS. I was at a Mets game. I literally got stopped and asked for an autograph because they thought I was Turtle from Entourage.
Were you wearing a fitted? You had to have been wearing a fitted for sure.
Wearing a fitted. This was early Entourage day, so before he lost quite a bit of weight. I had the chubby face and everything, so I did.
I don't think you have a chubby face, Mage. Why you got to say that?
Thank you. I appreciate that, Tino, and that's why I love you.
Yeah, remember.
I did. True story. I don't know if I've told you guys this. Maybe I did. I don't remember on an older show. I did get asked for Matt Harvey's autograph when I went to Mike Piazza's induction ceremony. Oh. I had a Mets hat on and a Mets jersey on, and a little kid thought I was Matt Harvey.
Harvey, I can see.
And I've actually, people have asked me, people have said you look like Matt. A lot of people have said that in person. Probably when I weigh a little bit less than I do now with the 20 pounds from coronavirus. But I did have a kid ask me for a Matt Harvey autograph. That is a true story. When I was at Cooperstown for Mike Piazza's Hall of Fame induction ceremony, that did happen.
I got a Mike Piazza card. I actually got to show you guys. I'll take it out in a second. Yes, the Nitos. I understand, guys. If you want to do a side by side, we can measure it out. I've gotten Eugenio Suarez and Tomas Nito, but really, I think it's just because I have a beard line, and you guys can be more creative than that. You can be, but I do think you're right, Isan. Weird that freak play today actually went in the Mets' favor. I agree, and I would be surprised if we start winning games. Maybe this is the break we needed to kind of get everything going. DeGrom on the hill next start, finally a day off. I mean, a little momentum for the boys. Don't let the Mets get hot. You guys know that.
Well, that's what I'm. After the game, I said to myself, okay, we got the bounce. And now let's take advantage of it. We got DeGrom, we got Stroman. If we get the 4-2, then you got a big series against the Phillies, and then you got DeGrom for one of those games as well. So let's win these next two. Let's capitalize on the momentum, and then try to take at least 2 against the Phillies out of those 4. And you're looking at a nice 6-4, maybe even a 7-3 start. But these next 2 games are crucial for me because if we want to win this division, guys, we play 19 games against the Marlins. We know the other teams are going to be tough. We got to win 14 out of these. We got to win 13. We got to go 13-6, 14-5 against the Marlins. We got to beat up on this baseball team These next 2 games are pretty big, in my opinion. We gotta win these games here.
They're winnable games. We 100% should. Josh, why are you saying that Mage looks like Bartolo Colon? What is that supposed to say? And even if he did, that would just mean he's sexy. That's all that means, Mage. You're big sexy. You're muted. You're muted. Mage, you're muted. You gotta unmute the mic.
Sorry, I'm professional. Yeah, I definitely I'm not even sure. I thought Josh and I were friends, but not anymore. So Josh is
big
not
sexy
welcome.
Mage.
Josh is not welcomed into the Mage fan club. So John MH, please make sure that there's no entry there. Thank you.
Yeah, he's definitely he's on suspension for that one. That's a low blow there. That's a low blow there, Josh. Listen, don't be sad about it. Don't be sad. I wish I looked like Bartolo too. I wish I had a swing like Bartolo. I see him playing men's softball.
I love Bartolo, man.
Bartolo is one of the most underrated Mets on that 2015 team. How important he was. He was so important to that 2015 team.
Let's see what else we have here. Can Rojas just leave DeGrom in the game until he gives up a run? I mean, you're right. I just want him to go 7. I know.
What do you think his pitch count will be this time around, DeGrom?
I don't know.
90?
I want to see what Walker went today because he pitched a little bit more. So Walker got to 87. So I'd say about there. That would make more sense. I'd say probably 90. But for DeGrom, he could probably get to the 8th with 90. So that would be pretty good.
Because he only threw 77 pitches his first time, I think it was.
And he worked hard that first inning. That was large in part. He had a really long first inning. I actually want to see how many pitches he threw.
Hopefully they up it to at least 90, man.
You know, I'll tell you what, I really don't mind the Mets leaning on the bullpen very early on in the season because you got to know what you have with them, I think. And, you know, you got to go to them. And if you're going to go to them early and go to them often. You know, get it out of the way because, I mean, the last thing is you don't want to find out exactly what type of pitcher Edwin Diaz and Trevor May are, you know, if you're vying for a postseason run or a spot in the playoffs. So I have no problem with it. If they're going to ease these guys in, especially after last year only playing the 60 games due to Corona, I mean, it is what it is. I get why people are upset, but it's baseball. So
all I ask Luis Rojas to do is the next time we need long relief out of Joey Lucchesi, put him in the game when it matters. Okay, I've seen enough from Lucchesi to know that if Peterson's struggling in the 5th, don't bring in a guy who's just going to give up a 3-run home run on his first pitch. Por favor. Pretty please, with a cherry on top. Stop bringing guys for their debuts with no experience on the team, just with bases loaded or men up first and third, and they just serve up cock shots. I need us to be a little more structured with this. Lucchesi was warming up first in the 2nd. He should have been the first guy called on, and he wasn't, and he pitched 2 meaningless shutout innings in the 7th and 8th. I have no idea why he didn't come in sooner. I also want to touch on what Taylor says here. I am so happy we walked off today. I was saying this earlier. If we went to extra innings, I would have just had a headache because I hate that rule.
Okay.
I hate that rule.
Let me ask you about the extra inning rule. Is it the same as last year where they start on second base to start the 10th?
Mm-hmm. The last out goes to second. Last out before goes to second.
So if Pete would have made the last out, he would have started second in extra innings.
Exactly.
That is the dumbest rule. I don't even get. I get they're trying to speed up the game, but it is so stupid. It completely changes the complexion of everything. All you got to do is put down a sac bunt, you get a sac fly, you score a run. I hate that rule. With extra innings.
I have a little bit of a different perspective on it, and then also I want to ask you guys something else. But I don't mind it, but I don't want to start it in the 10th inning. So how about you start it in the 13th? If
that's different.
If it's still tied at that point. So if you do want to speed it up, then it's kind of like sudden death, right? So if you run out of time, then that's it. Then it's a shootout, kind of like in football, whatever, or like it used to be in football. So starting in the 13th inning, not the 10th inning, right? You give them a chance to play. The thing that scares me the most is if and when this happens in the playoffs, where one game means everything.
Now, yeah, I was going to ask that. In the playoffs, because in hockey, it's different. Hockey, it's different rules in the regular season as opposed to the playoffs. Is it the same rules in the Major League playoffs as it is in the regular season? Because if it is, that would be ridiculous.
I don't think it is. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. I don't think it is.
I'm not sure myself.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think it is. That wouldn't make any sense.
I could understand it a little bit because you want to preserve your pitchers. You don't want to wear their arms out. You don't want, you want to try to speed up the game.
Entertainah, though, yeah, they want the underlining thing is that they want to speed up the game, but it's like, why there? Why do you want to speed up the game in extra innings? I know they go long, but like that's the part of baseball. And like Mage says, if you want to speed up the game, you don't have to do it in the first inning of extra innings. Like we were just there for 9. What's one more gonna do for us? Like if you want to bridge the gap, maybe even like the 15th on to really actually like put an end to the game. Sure, it's too easy. It ends in the first inning.
I'll tell you what. That's it. I'll end this. After 9 innings, it's a home run derby, pitcher versus pitcher. That's it. Get them out there. But
we'd win. We got the best hitting pitchers.
We do. But I want to ask this question though, because Michael K brought this up about this rule. So the player that made the last out in the previous inning starts on second base, right? So that player made an out. Why, if they score the run, why should they get credited with a bonus or something positive in the stat category? And how does that affect now major league records?
Yep, you're right.
It's a good point.
You're right.
It's a good point. And it's also if it was me and I was the manager, if Pete made the last out, I would just make sure I have a really fast guy on my bench. I'd pinch run for Pete at the start of the inning. I bring in my speedster. Like I feel like it's a disadvantage for certain teams that may not have a fast guy off the bench that they could bring in as a pinch runner. Maybe they used him earlier in the game, whatever. I just hate it. I hate that rule. I think they should just play it out the normal way. I get they're trying to speed up the game. Another rule I don't like is the three batter minimum. I don't like it. I hate it.
Well, the other thing is too in terms of the rule. So if a run scores, it's considered unearned for the pitcher. So it doesn't affect them.
Oh, well, it should be.
Right, but at the same time, there is this positive stat that goes to the runner who scored the run, though. So, this takes us back to the question that you asked to earlier, Tana, in the year. I mean, this comes back to the whole rule about baseball versus football. They're trying to do this to speed this up, to lure in younger fans to the sport. I don't know. Baseball is a dying sport, and the problem is I don't know how you fix it.
That's a good question. I think they have to build a team around their star players. I think they have to do a better job marketing it. But I don't know how you fix it because I'm not a part of the younger generation. So I honestly don't know.
The whole thing about the sport is that there's a whole lot of standing around for 3.5, 4 hours. I mean, you guys don't have any kids yet, but you try to get a 5-year-old or an 8-year-old, even a 9-year-old, to keep their attention for 4 hours on something. I don't get it. I don't know how they're going to lure in younger fans. It's dying out, man. I don't see anything else in sight. So I get them wanting to fix some of this stuff or kind of change up the rules, but I don't. Then you have the people, the older fans, who are like, don't touch my baseball. Don't mess with it. It's a pastime and everything else. I really don't know.
Yeah, I don't know the answers, but there's certain things I don't like. You want to add the DH to the National League to add more runs, whatever. I'm okay with that. Like, I'm fine with that, but I don't like the 3-batter minimum. I don't like starting the runner on second. I don't like it. I think it takes away from the strategy of the sport. I'm not a fan of it.
Also, Rob Manfred hates baseball. I do think that's the underlining factor of all this because he's trying to change the rules that he doesn't even like the sport that he is the commissioner for. If you want proof, just look at all of last year. He called the Astros cheating okay, and he also said that it's just a trophy. What's the big deal? Two of the worst things you could probably say for the commissioner of a baseball league. But hey, what do I know? Guys, I have to wrap this up. Duty is calling me. I don't mean to jump off here too quick. We tried to get to an hour. I got to go to work. I'm trying to get this, get as many videos in as much as possible with all these guys. Mage was making his debut today, even though he's made his debut before, but in-season debut. This just needed to happen. I'm glad we were able to do it. So, thank you all for tuning out. So tuning in. Don't tune out. Tune in. Please sub. Please like. Please subscribe. Please thumbs up. I appreciate you all, guys. Any last words?
No. I'll be live streaming the game on tomorrow we're off. The next day I'll be live streaming the game. Maybe we'll have a post game here if we can, if we have time. If not, we'll figure it out. But I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I'm super excited about, we found a way to get a win today. Might have been a cheat, but we got a win. We're 2-2, and I think we're going to sweep the Marlins. I'm excited to see Jake pitch on Saturday, and I think they're all day games if I'm not mistaken. So get that game done with nice and early, and looking forward to the rest of this season, man. We're off to a decent start.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you guys for coming out. Yeah, LFG Mage, and I was going to tell you this one: clap back or get smacked back. Don't forget that.
Absolutely, MH. Thank you,
captain of the Mage fan club, president, co-president. All right, guys, have a good day. Thank you all for tuning in. Talk to you guys next stream.